Hey class, I am creating a video for you this week that will go over a couple of important things. I'm gonna give you a little bit of feedback on your wiki and then talk about how to finish chapter 8 strong, as well as looking forward into the next lesson and really specifically focusing on that group blog. So try to listen to the whole thing. If you need to come back at different points and listen as you are ready, that is totally fine as well. So first, I got some new glasses because my other ones broke, and this lens is very thick, which is why you probably see a little bit of glare on there, and I keep looking at it. So I'm going to try to look at the little camera so I'm not getting distracted by my own glasses. Anyways, all right, so good job on the group wikis. It seems like your groups are getting in a rhythm of how you're connecting with one another. If you are someone that has questions about the group, I would reach out to your group members or to myself, and I can kind of help you follow along the way. I did provide feedback on those group wikis, so make sure that you read that prior to doing the next portion of the assignment, which is the group blog. So let me start there. The group blog is due as an individual. Every person in the group will do their own blog post, which is due on Saturday. Your goal for that blog post is to pretend like you got the job that the wiki was publicizing for. So you got that job, and now you are getting to decorate your office space. So every organization that you have started will have a little bit of a different type of office space. So if you have a traditional office, then you would think about, what would I want to put in my traditional office space? But maybe you don't have a traditional office, you're a teacher, and so you bring something into your classroom. Maybe you're a construction worker, and so you wear something on your body or you put something in your truck. Maybe you have a shared break room, but you have a little corner or something like that you could put something in. So depending on your job and the space that you'll be locating, think about what items you would like to share. So I'm going to give you 2 examples of things that I might bring in, and these are just random examples of what I had on my table. So ideally, the examples would link to your cultural values and things that demonstrate who you are as a person. So think about you like your honest self. What would you like to display about yourself to other people? And you want to think about this in context of the culture that you are a part of and the clients and customers that you'll be working with. So how might the artifacts that you're displaying be received by someone who walks into your office or sees this on you? And then you're going to describe why it's important to you and how that might translate to others. So my first item here is a pumpkin. Oh gosh, a rotten pumpkin. A pumpkin that my son painted last week. So I might have something in my office like this for a short period of time because it's going to go rotten, but I would display it for 2 reasons. One, I love Halloween. It is a cultural festival where we dress up in costumes and go around and get candy and things like that. And traditionally in my family, we've always celebrated. We have big Halloween parties, and we love to pumpkin carve and go to pumpkin patches, and just the fall in general is one of the seasons of life that brings me so much joy. I love the leaves falling off of the trees and things like that. So this could be one of my cultural artifacts, and I would want to say, how might this be received by other people? A pumpkin, for the most part, is not going to be culturally offensive to other people. They might not even notice that it's there. They may laugh at it, or they might be like, where'd you get that pumpkin? Did you paint it? And it might give me an opportunity to talk about my kids, which is something I really enjoy doing. You can see them behind me as well. So I might say, oh yeah, my son painted this. Or as I'm getting really busy in the office, I might think, oh, I really want to go see my kids, and so I'm going to take a break. So this could be one item. Another item that I might have in my office would be this painting, which is a prayer, and it's the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And so one of the things I like about this prayer is that the first line says, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me show love. Where there is injury, pardon, doubt, faith, etc. And so really the prayer itself is about giving yourself away. So even less than about, I'm a Christian, I want to show you that. It is more about the type of person that I want to convey that I am. I want people to know that I am somebody that wants to be able to listen to you, that wants to be able to be helpful, that desires to be humble. And so that prayer would signify that aspect of my faith, just not my faith in general. And it's a reminder to me to seek to console rather than to be consoled, to serve rather than to be served. Because at work, sometimes I can be a little selfish. So I actually have it more for me than I have for other people. But again, it could be something that could be debatable depending on where I am and the people around me. Some people might think, oh, I can't relate to Mrs. Rowe now because I don't share her same faith, and so maybe she'll judge me or something like that. Somebody might think that it's just a beautiful picture and nothing more than that, right? So you want to kind of think about how it would relate and translate into that culture. So you're going to post your blog and you'll do that by Saturday. And then your group members will get to comment on your blog. And the comments really should be focused on how do you identify or would you receive those cultural messages? Either do you have similarities or differences? And maybe help them think about how someone with a different perspective might receive that cultural element from that they're posting around them. So that is the blog. I do have listed on the description that they need to come from Amazon, Art, or Etsy. And that's really just to narrow your scope of what you can find, and that it's like an easy way for me to kind of check and see where they came from. But if you have something that is in your own home that you don't have you can take a picture of it and include that. That is also totally fine. So if you have questions about that, you can also email me. So that's the group blog. The next part that I want to talk about is how to finish chapter 8 strong, which is about emotional messages. So by tomorrow night, you have your emotional activity check. And there are 3 options for you to do for this check. And one of them I created a podcast for that can kind of help you walk through a reflective process. Another is an opportunity for you to practice media analysis and for you to apply what you're learning to a television show that you like. And then the other is kind of helping you just think through how to look at things from multiple perspectives. So choose one. You can do more if you'd like, but I think that you'll find them helpful. I did some of these with my seated class, and one of the hard things about emotions that can be challenging is that it's hard to sit in our mistakes or our difficult emotions, but that's actually part of growth. And so depending on which activity that you do, you might see more elements for moving forward, or kind of have to think about some mistakes that you've made and how you can adjust in the future. So I look forward to seeing what you have to write about that. The last thing that I want to mention is moving into the next lesson. Is you do have your 3rd journal due, so you can do that at any point. Remember, that will be focused on chapters 7, 8, or 9, according to those assessments that you're doing. And if you're doing service learning, make sure that you address your service in your journal prompts. And then I've included a Word document that walks you through how to do the blog if you're looking forward to how to find it. And the 4th top project from the research projects, which focuses on relationship violence, which is one of the topics in chapter 9. So keep up the good work.